If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, holographist coach, Christine McIver.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Inspired Choices radio show, TV show, podcast, you name it. I am your host, Christine McIver, and tonight we have another business conversation, and this could actually apply to any area of your life, whether you're working for someone else, whether you work within your family, whether you work in your home, whatever it is that you're doing. Tonight, we're talking about you can't do it all in business. Now, remember what I had said, if you've been listening to the shows, I've been talking about everybody is in business. Whether you hang a shingle out and you're talking about an actual business, maybe that you've incorporated, or you're self-employed, or you've got a partnership with someone, that's one type of business, but everyone has their own business. Whatever it is that you are doing in your life, whatever it is that you are doing to create income, whatever it is you are doing in the world to contribute to your life and to other people's lives and to the world at large, you are in your own business. Just remember, it's your business, right? It's nobody else's business, right? It's your business. So we're talking about doing it all tonight. Now, the last few weeks, several weeks actually, we've been doing a lot of shows around business, because if you know me, you know that I absolutely love business. Business to me is absolute, total, and 100% pleasure. It is something that, has, since I was a very young girl, I loved to do business. And I think for me, it's creating and it's bringing it to the world and it's sharing it with other people and showing other people how they can be doing business and showing them how it can be fun, how it can be a contribution to them, and how it can be a contribution to others. So the last few weeks, as I said, we've been doing business. We've been talking a lot about leadership, embracing the chaos of creation. How do I know I'm a leader? Resisting your leadership. It's so interesting to me when I look at all of these different topics and how they, in a statement alone, they're simplistic. But when we really dive into the topic, how robust they truly, truly are. And, as I said, leadership and business is all around us, and how we're showing up in our lives and the legacy that we wish to leave in the world really depends on our leadership and what we are creating in the world. So in the world of business, actually hanging out your shingle, this is a huge piece that a lot of business owners ignore. They try to fluff off. They don't believe it's important. And it's fascinating to me because when I work with clients and this actual subject comes up in the course of the conversation, which it inevitably does, I can tell you that, it's fascinating the things that people will say as to why they have to do it all, or they are doing it all, or they're choosing to do it all, or they think they should do it all, or they should be able to do it all, and every other angle that you can possibly imagine. This is a game stopper. This is a game stopper for your bank account, for your body, for your clients, and for the legacy as you as a leader are in the world. And we're going to dive deep into that tonight. So before we do, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a holographist coach. And while that's an unusual name, what I do is I bring your desires into the present and have you operating in it right now. You see, some of my gifts are I can see very easily how people can step up in their world, how they can make quick changes in their life, in their pleasure, in their joy, in what they're doing, in their relationships, and most definitely in their business. So when a client comes to me and they tell me where they really would like to move forward and what it is that they desire to have, my wheels just start turning. And I've been gifted with the ability to be able to see things very, very quickly. On top of that, I love technology. So if you're a business owner, for instance, and you are holding back, you don't know how to maybe make yourself be more visible, maybe have things streamlined in your business, how people can connect with you easily, and everything in between, systems are my jam. I love systems and I love learning new things about different programs, different apps out there. I learned some new things today, self-taught, um, about YouTube. And it's fun to me. To me, business and learning new things are really, really fun. And if that's not for you, if that's not something that is fun for you, why not look to hire someone like me who can make it fun, who can make it enjoyable, who can actually bring you more into your joy and allow your spirit to soar in the ways and the spaces and the places where you came with your capacities and what's your jam, right? That's one of the biggest things that I find, that people are so confused about where to put their focus and where to put their energy. And we've all been there. Like, I've been there too, trying to figure out, I've been in business now for 12 years and trying to figure out initially what to do and where to go and what really makes me happy and what really contributes to me and what would be prosperous in my life. Not just from the financial aspect, also from the place of enjoying my days. And, if you're there, why waste another minute? Why waste another day hammering yourself trying to figure this out? The greatest thing any leader ever did was actually hire a coach. And that's where coaches came from. Life coaches, and we have all different types of coaches out there, but life coaches actually came from the space of a leader within an organization, the boss, the soulpreneur, or the person at the C-suite at the top of the game. It actually came from them needing someone to hold them accountable, someone that would push them, someone that would actually challenge them to be greater, and someone that they could say something to that wasn't going to be their yes person. So if you're looking to be a greater leader in your life, you're looking to be a greater leader in your business, you're looking to be someone who really does leave a legacy in the world, I'm going to challenge you to find someone, reach out to a coach, reach out to someone who will empower you, who will challenge you, who will hold you accountable to your own dreams. Because the first person to walk away from a dream is the dreamer, because the dreamer doesn't often believe in themselves. And when you actually have someone that does believe in you and knows that it's possible, that's where it can take you from an enjoyable life to an ecstatic life. So please reach out to me, Christine, at inspiredchoices.ca, whether you're looking for an upswing in your business, you're looking for an upswing in your relationships, you're looking for an upswing in your self-confidence, in your awareness of who you are and what you have to bring to the world, I would love to connect with you. You can find me at inspiredchoices.ca. Email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or you're listening to Inspired Choices Network. You can find me here and all of my information, and on any social media platform, really, I'm out there. So let's get into tonight's show. You cannot do it all in business. So hands up, how many of you initially were, when you started to do your business, or you started maybe having a family or going into a relationship, a marriage, you went into creating something and you started to see the enormity of all of the tasks and you got overwhelmed? How many people got overwhelmed thinking, oh my God, I don't know how to do any of this? And maybe you turned and ran and you said, I'm not going to do this. Or you put your hero cape on and you dove deep in saying, I can do every single solitary thing, right? We're either one or the other. Most people do not just do mediocre and go along, especially if you're diving into a business. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. The people that run and hide, you don't have enough self-confidence in your own abilities. You don't have enough self-confidence in your own awareness of your capacities. And when you will allow yourself, challenge yourself to lean in a little bit more, it's amazing the awareness that will come to you and drive you forward. It's absolutely fantastic when you can challenge your own self. Now, if you're one of those people that put your hero cape on and you dived into your own business, you dove deep dive into being a parent or a partner in a relationship, and all of a sudden you are exhausted, you are worn out. Maybe you're even resentful. How many of you are resentful that you have to do it all, right? This is what the hero does. The hero is not someone that, in my point of view, the people that are in the world that are contributing, like the nurses and the doctors during this pandemic, this is their job, this is their capacity, and they are leading from their heart, but they also know when to put their hand up and ask for assistance. I'm talking about the hero that puts the hero cape on, that dives in before they actually understand the breadth and the depth of what's required for the business to succeed. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking a deep dive and then suddenly coming up for air and going, oh my God, I am way in over my head, or I feel like I'm drowning, or I'm exhausted. I don't even know why I started this in the first place. That is something that goes on all of the time. That when your body, when your emotions, when your life begins to become overwhelming, when your body starts to break down, when your emotions start to just ride you out every day, just you're sad or you're crying or you're angry, whatever that is, when those things start to drive, those are big, huge neon light signals. Something needs to change. Your body is your partner. Your business is your partner. If your business is trying to drag itself along with you, trying to be successful, trying to get clients, trying to actually have enough revenue to succeed, something needs to change. Something absolutely 100% has to change, because you cannot succeed in your business and be exhausted. You cannot succeed in your business and be unhappy. You can't. I heard this fabulous quote the other day, and it was, a smiling, happy business owner is actually a very successful business owner, especially when it comes to revenue. So how many of you out there that are in their own business, that have started some big new thing in your life and you're unhappy? Please listen to those signals. Listen to them. What would actually occur in your life, in your business, into your new adventure, if you paused, if you stepped back from whatever it is and you took a macro view, you took an inventory of everything that's been occurring? Would the business fall apart? If the business would fall apart by you taking a pause, even for a weekend, and you took a pause and that business would fall apart, well, maybe that's the best thing that could happen. You need to be able to be strategic when you're looking at your business. You also need to be hands-on. Yes. So it's like you play many different roles within your business. However, you having to touch every single aspect of your business is actually going to hold your business back. It's actually making your business a prisoner to your ego. I know, maybe hard to hear this, but if you have to touch everything, your ego is making your business a prisoner to success, a prisoner that is going to move forward in the world. It is so important that each and every one of us look at this and we look at what's happening in our world, are you someone who is actually allowing your ego to drive your business? We're going to go off to our first break. And during this time, I just want you to take a couple of minutes and really look at what's going on for you. Really look at what's going on in your business and be willing to be really clear. Be willing to write down those things that are happening without judgment, without any regret, without any shame. When you can get the information, that's when you're going to get empowered, and that's when you can actually change something. So you are listening to Inspired Choices with me, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Tonight, we're talking about you cannot do it all in business. Stay tuned, my friends. We'll be right back after this break.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. It is December the 16th, 2020. And what a wonderful time to take a few moments, to take a few days and reflect, to really take an inventory of what you've been creating in the world, what you have been creating in your business, where you've been succeeding, where you know something needs to change, but maybe you don't know what it is that needs to change. Now is a beautiful time. It nearly feels like a natural time to do an inventory and to start looking at what it is that you desire to create in the next quarter, even the next week. If that's as far as you can see, good on you. That's all that's required. Sometimes for me, it's day to day. Sometimes it's like, you know what? I am so feeling everything that's going on in people's worlds that all I can focus on right here, right now is today. And if you can make it through a day without losing it, and you can make it through getting some accomplishments done and feeling like you're moving forward, that is success. To me, that's success. And as you have days like that, they build on each other and they grow. And before you know it, you've got a weekend and you're like, oh my gosh, look at my to-do list. Look at how much I've got completed. It's fantastic. You know, over the last couple of weeks, I have been nailing out things that I've wanted to get done for some time. And the feeling, the enthusiasm that creates within me to do more is just fantastic. So I keep a list of things that I want to accomplish. And I'm one of those people who like to check things off. And when I check things off, I get really excited. But here's the thing, my friends, I know I can't do it all. So I'm going to tell you a little story. When I first started my business, I definitely was a solopreneur. And I learned, first of all, I love computers, and every program that I have ever used or I use, it has been self-taught. I taught myself how to use it. I taught myself how to build a website. I've taught myself how to really do anything on the computer. Now, that's my design. That's, if you're into human design, and I know my friends in the chat room definitely are, that's part of my design is technology and systems. That's the way that my brain works, and it's fun for me. It's pleasure for me. And so for me to do this was really natural for me to do that. But if that's not natural for you, you shouldn't be doing it. Don't do it, because it'll take you twice as long, probably cost you too much money. And in the end, you're going to be incredibly frustrated, and you may walk away from that beautiful creation that's waiting to be birthed through you. But when I started, I taught myself how to build my own website. So I built my own website. And then I started to work with different clients and started to understand what it was that they needed. And I would start to get ideas. As I said before, I would get ideas about what I could create, what system I could put in place, what kind of support mechanisms I could create for them, what systems that would be a contribution to them, a contribution to their business, and most definitely a contribution to their clients. So those are things that I started to do. At the same time, though, I was really feeling run down, and I wanted more pleasure and more joy. And before you knew it, along came a radio station that asked if I ever thought about being a host. And everything inside of me said, absolutely, yes, 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 yes. And so I started to do that. And now I'm doing more things, and I'm having fun, and I'm creating. But there was a lot of areas where I was lacking, and I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I hired a coach, and the coach started to guide me and challenge me, and really she invested in me, and she invested her time in me and her knowledge in me so that I could move forward. And there has been times throughout my business career, the times throughout um, my career with my own business, that I have hired a coach. I have had someone who's been there for me to challenge me. What I started to learn very, very quickly as my desires increased, what I knew was that I couldn't actually obtain those desires. I couldn't hit those desires if I was going to have to continue to do it alone. So when I started to produce on the radio, I actually asked a colleague if they wanted to do the work with me. Oh my gosh, that changed everything for me, because now I was doing the work with someone else. I was still a solopreneur, but I had a colleague I was working with. I had a colleague that I could run ideas by. Sometimes having a colleague who you can bounce ideas off of or really get their professional opinion on it can save you so much time and energy. Now, I didn't realize it at the time how much of a contribution that was. And then as I began to produce even more and more, and eventually created the Inspired Choices Network, I needed to bring radio producers on, TV producers on. I am bringing writers on. I am bringing assistants on, technical people, different people, third party people that I would bring in to teach and learn from and grow. This, my friends, started to challenge my ego, but started to grow my business. So let's talk about the ego first, because oh my gosh, that ego can really take you out. So tell me, what belief systems, what beliefs do you have? What did you buy into that in order to be successful, you had to do it all? Do you know that you have that belief system? Because many, many people do. Jennifer is in the chat room tonight. Hello, my friend. She said, I love this topic. Everyone thinks that if they can't do everything in their business, then it's not a good business. That's actually false. And you're right, Jennifer, that's absolutely true. But that idea, that belief is false. You there is no one person that can do every single solitary thing that a growing business will require. You don't have all of the capacities. You don't have all of the bandwidth. You don't have all of your desires to expand. So when I was first going to college, I actually was going to college for accounting. And I'm really good at accounting. I'm really good with numbers. And so it just seemed logical to me that that's what I would do. There was nothing else that really hugely popped for me at that time. And as I was doing the accounting, I was really good at it, but it lacked a lot of the things that gave me joy. Now, can I do accounting in my own business now? Yeah, I can, but it doesn't fill me up. It doesn't inspire me. It doesn't bring the spirit inside of me forward. It doesn't have me jump out of bed every day to do accounting. I know people that are brilliant at accounting and they love doing accounting. Our own resident bookkeeper here on the Inspired Choices Network, Kathy Cook Noble, she does Financially Speaking. I have never heard anybody be so excited about bookkeeping and financing than her. The way she lights up when it talks about accounting, I get so excited because I know that her passion, when she is doing, she actually does my books, she does the businesses books. I know when she is doing and focusing on my books, I know that they're going to be done really well because she's loving what she's doing. Let me liken this to, have you ever gone to someone who is a cook, a chef, and they love being a chef? Don't they have the most delicious food? Doesn't the food just light up when you taste it? And when their eyes watch you eating, can you see the excitement in their eyes when you're going to enjoy their creation? That's where each and every one of us should reside. Imagine living a life where you create something and it lights you up. When you are lit up, when you are bringing that much joy to the world, you are contributing your energy. You're increasing the joy level in the world. You're not walking around with a long face, dragging your ass, wishing to God that you would just be done with all of this. You're not wishing for the weekend. How many people out there are living and wishing for the weekend so that they don't have to do their job? And when I say job, it's like a 4-letter word, right? When you are doing something that really turns you on, that speaks to your soul, that makes you excited, that has you inspire other people, you are right in your sweet spot. How many people would love to be in their sweet spot again with their business? Now, this is something that I ask people all the time to do, and I've said it on this show many, many times, but I want you to go back. I want you to go back to that time, to that moment where your business was being birthed within you, where this idea started to unfold and the excitement that was starting to percolate within you. Did you think about the accounting? Did you think, unless you're an accountant, of course, did you think about the emails that you were going to have to deal with? Did you think about all of the little tasks that you were going to have to do? Or were you thinking about the creation and how exciting that was going to be for you and when you shared it with your clients and the customers? Go back there. Whenever you're feeling down or really lacking with joy in your business, take yourself back. Why did I start this in the beginning? Go back and look at that. That will re-infuse you with joy and with excitement, and it'll get you to start being aware of where your train started to go off the track with your joy and your business. My friends, you trying to do it all is actually cutting off receiving for so many people. Now we're up to our second break of the show, and I would really love for you to stick around because I've got a few more things definitely that I want you to really look at, and I really want you to consider when you are looking at where you are doing too much in your business and not willing to bring other people into your business. We're going to talk about the ego and what might start to show up for you. And we're going to talk about how easy and simple it can be when you start to bring other people into your business. So you're listening to Inspired Choices with myself, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. Again, we're talking about you cannot do it all in business. Stay tuned, everyone. We will be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you ready to have pleasure with your business? Yes, I said pleasure with your business. The Pleasure of Business a la carte will surprise you with topics like meet yourself in the boardroom, money, services, and you. Expand your visibility. The pleasure of communication. The pleasure of Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Christine McIver has so much pleasure with business and loves teaching all things business. Beginning a new business? Desiring to expand a current business? Or looking to resurrect a business that has been dormant? This program will get you fired up and bring more pleasure than you have ever imagined. Exhausted with your excuses for not creating a phenomenal business? Join now for all the pleasure with business. Pleasure of Business a la carte gives you total choice for what you desire and what your business requires. That's 24 weeks of different topics to choose from with weekly calls, audio and video recordings, and PDFs. This class will have you dive right in and use tools to create the business that has been speaking to you. Go to inspiredchoices.ca for full details or join the Facebook page Pleasure of Business a la carte. Now is the time for you and your business.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here today. Whether you're listening live or you're listening in the replay, I'm incredibly grateful. All of the contributions from all of my listeners and all of the emails and the messages that they send me, it just makes so much fun for me creating my radio and my TV show. So if you're looking for us, you can find us on over 210 platforms. We are live on over 55 platforms that you're listening to right now, or you can find us in podcast on over 50 platforms in audio form and over 110 in video form. How cool is that, right? And this is just another way that we bring our messages to the world and we get to create with each and every one of you. So we're talking about you can't do it all in business. And my question to you is, what lies are you buying from someone who said very proudly, well, I did every single thing in my business and I was successful? Did you ever hear anybody say that? Did you ever buy that that's what you had to do in order to be successful, like Uncle George or like by Aunt Betty? Now look at Uncle George and look at Aunt Betty. What was their body like? What was their relationships like? Were they exhausted? Did they have circles under their eyes? Were they worrying? You know, having that badge of honor, and that's what that was, that badge of honor to say, I can do it all. It's actually not a kindness. It's not a kindness to you. It definitely is not a kindness to your business, because your business came to you to come through you, had you be the leader of that business. And it most certainly is not kind to your clients, your customers, and to the future possibilities of what are desiring to come through you. So did you know when you get bogged down in the details, you actually freeze out future creation possibilities? Let me say that again. When you get bogged down in the details, you actually freeze out future creation possibilities. Your business will only grow to the level that you are allowing it to grow, because you're controlling it. Have you bought that you have to control it, or you have to guide it? Are you the controller of your business, or are you someone that guides it? A successful business owner is someone that guides the business. The business has its own energy. It's its own entity. It will come, the ideas will come through you and have you lead them. But it is its own entity. It has its own energy, and it is going to bring to you as much as you can handle. But if you're trying to control it and you're trying to hold it, right? You're trying to hold everything together, and you have to touch everything. You have to touch every single thing. You have to control every message that goes out. I can tell you for absolute truth, your business is never going to grow, and it could very well die. You might actually be choking it to death because you're trying to control every little aspect of it. Pardon me. You've got to be willing to ask your business questions, and you've got to be willing to dream. How did this idea come to you to have your business? It came through you dreaming about possibilities. Maybe you're someone that asks, I'd like to make more money. How can I do that? I'd like to have more money. And maybe this idea came to you that way. Maybe you said, I'd like to be playing with people more in the world. I don't like being at home just, cooking meals. Maybe you're someone that says, I don't like working for that person. That person doesn't make me happy. What else can I do? Maybe it came through that way. It doesn't matter what way it came through, but it came through some kind of verbal or energetic ask. It came through a desire. Do you continue to raise your desires? Because as you continue to raise your desires, new possibilities have to come in. And this is where doing it all can actually stop those possibilities to come in. Do you know that when you're not willing to bring other people into your business, one, your ego is getting kicked. Your ego is kicking in and it's saying, no, I got to touch it all. I got to touch it all. Really? Really? Do you not think that somebody could maybe do something better than you? Are you not willing to be the guide of brilliant people around you? Not only should you not be the smartest person in the room if you want to grow, you should also be willing to learn from other people. Be willing to learn from the people that you employ, the people that you inspire, and be willing to be inspired by them. You don't hold all the awareness in the world. You don't hold all the knowledge in the world, and you don't hold all the capacities in the world. But what you can be is an amazing leader who guides your business and brings other brilliant people around you. When you surround yourself with brilliant people that are contributing as well to the business, your business will grow. Now, I can remember when I first wanted to grow my business, I know, and in fact, I remember I was taking this course. I was taking it with one of my colleagues that's in the chat room, Jennifer Kramer Lewis. We were taking this class and this course, and I remember we were talking about it and about the idea of bringing people into the business to have employees in the business. And that really overwhelmed me. My ego really didn't like it. And then I went into, well, how am I going to pay them? How am I going to do this? You know, my friends, that was the big thing. The how am I going to pay them? Because my business needed to grow. And yet in order for my business to grow, I needed to bring more people on. But in order to be able to bring more people on, I needed the money. And it's like this oxymoron, right? How many of you are in that space? Well, if you're in that space, I'm going to tell you that there are so many other possibilities of what you can be choosing to create with other people to bring them into your business. First of all, do you have a product or a service that would contribute to that person or to another person that could also come and contribute to your business? Do you have the possibility of them working on a commission basis with you? So they sell something or they create something that creates income for you, and then you pay them, right? Do you have the possibility of having them do work for you that you know will create income, and then at the end of the month, actually paying them? Those are just 3 simple ideas. And if you'd like more direct ideas, I give everybody a half an hour for free. Book a session with me, and I will come up with at least 3 ideas for you. Okay. Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. So when I first started to think about this and look at doing this, the possibility of doing this, I really was challenged. I was really incredibly challenged. But one of the things that I started to do was like, well, I really desire it to grow. So I need to drop my ego. I need to be willing to be vulnerable, and I need to be willing to ask my business to show me who would be a contribution to my business. And so what I started to do was I actually started to look to the people who were part of my radio station, people that had their own show on my network. And I asked them, had they ever thought about being a producer? And that intrigued them. Now, they were also solopreneurs and they had time to be able to do that. And then we went into an agreement. We had a very clear written agreement around what the exchange would look like and what they could receive at the end of the month. And I was always very upfront with them. I was always very clear with them. And we made sure that we honored each other in these agreements. Well, before you know it, right now, I have 2 producers that are producing the radio shows with me. And I have a social media person that's on the team. I have another person who's a writer. I've got someone that does graphics. I have 4 team members on my team that contribute to my business growing. And my business is growing, and I am in a happy place. If I was miserable, if I was unwilling to really look at what was really holding me back, if I was unwilling to look at where I was being miserable, I would start to destroy my business. I know so many people that have been in their own business, and the minute they started to complain about workers, or they started to complain about you can't get good enough workers, or they started to complain that things were too hard, their business actually started to die. It started to die, and it affects them, in many, many ways, and most certainly it affects them with their health. So we're going to go for our last break of the show, but what I really want you to look at is, did you anywhere buy that doing it all was going to be a contribution to you? Or did you just buy that that's the right thing to do to look like the strong, tough person in your own business? Let's think about that while we go to break. You're listening to Inspired Choices with myself, Christine McIver, here on the Inspired Choices Network. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, my friends.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with holographist coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with holographist coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're here tonight. And we're up to the last segment of the show. Boy, that goes so fast all the time. It's amazing to me. So what I really want to talk about is, what is it that you're contributing to the world? What legacy are you actually leaving when you are willing to not do it all? Have you ever thought of it from that angle? What am I creating, not just with myself, not just with my business, but with the world when I'm willing to not do it all? You know, the very first business I was in, I was 23 years old, and I was in a cosmetic business. It was Alouette Cosmetics. And the founder of Alouette Cosmetics, Trisha Deffenbaugh, I'll never forget this. She said that she had created this business so that women could, that were like her, who are single moms, could go out at night, a couple nights a week, hire somebody to babysit while the children were in bed, and make a full-time income and stay at home with their children during the week. Well, that's not what I did, but what she did teach, and it was a brilliant business model. What she did teach us all was that what was really important was that instead of making excuses of, I got to clean the house, or I have to do the laundry, or I have to do all of these things, instead of making those excuses, hire someone to do those jobs where you would be paying them at least half, if not a quarter, of what you would be making going and doing your business. When you do that, you are also employing someone else. Have you ever thought about that? That even if your housekeeper, you are employing someone else. By you choosing your business and choosing to get uncomfortable and grow yourself, you are employing someone else, and you're contributing to them feeding their families. That's a really big thing when you think about this. The number of people, if you employ 5 people, if you employ 10 people, you're impacting way more than 5 or 10 people. You're impacting their families. You're impacting their future. You're also being a leader. You're being a leader in the world and showing them what it's like to step up and be uncomfortable and expand yourself and challenge yourself and to actually bring other people in. You know, you're not going to do it all right. You're going to mess up. You're going to have challenges. You're going to need to, get over yourself and go, well, I really messed that up, and learn from it and grow, right? When we go to school, we don't learn communication. Unfortunately, that's not something we learned in high school. I don't know if they're teaching that now, but there's nothing like hands-on in a business, being a leader, to learn where you're lacking, right? And when you're trying to do it all, you're going to find out big time where you are lacking. But when you're willing to step out of the business's way, allow the business to grow by inspiring and inviting other people to work with you and to work with your business, some of the coolest things can happen. because they will have learned other things that you don't know. They will start to teach you things that you don't know. You are not someone that has been everywhere at every moment in every time, learning every single solitary thing. Now, I am an avid learner. I love learning things, especially when it comes to technology, especially it comes to the internet. I love it, but I certainly don't know it all. We had a training yesterday with one of the people that's part of our team, and she was teaching us things about YouTube. I loved it. I loved it. And this is somebody that's just joined our team just in the last month. Now, can you actually say that you're willing to get your ego out of the way and learn from people who were brand new in the business? I had the most amazing experience. My last, I was in human resources for 25 years, and my last job that I had, it was absolutely phenomenal. And when I went in there the very first day, I was part of the executive team, and they brought me into their Monday morning meeting. And these Monday morning meetings, unless they had everything resolved, that meeting would continue. So sometimes it would go over a 2-day period. And I remember the very first day that I was there, they were discussing something, and I'm sitting around a table with 9 men and me. I'm brand new. This is day 1 of my job, and I'm sitting there. I was so nervous. I can't even tell you. These people were making, 150,000, 200,000, some of them a year. And I certainly wasn't anywhere near that. I was really nervous, and I felt like I shouldn't speak. I felt like, just be quiet, just be quiet, just be, pretend you're not even here. And the owner turned to me and he said, "Christine, what do you think?" And I was like, I was totally tongue-tied. And he said, "Look, we've hired you because we know that you have something to contribute. So tell us what you think." And holy crap, I was scared to death. And man, did that have me grow. Man, did that have me own what I know. And it really inspired me to step up. And that is something that I hope that I do with my staff, and I hope that I continue to do with all new team members that I surround myself with. I want the team members to enjoy what they're doing, bring their brilliance to the table, and make me look good. And trust me, they make me look good. So what if you weren't doing it all, and the people that you brought on actually made you look good and had you enjoy your life and enjoy your creations and really inspire you to move forward? Because my friends, when you get out of the way and you stop buying into the fear that you have to touch it all, your business will start to give you more and more ideas, and your energy is going to start to shift, and you are going to be more attractive to those clients, more attractive to those customers out there, when you are willing to get out of the way and guide the business, not control the business. Stop trying to control everything, my friends. Be willing to ask way more questions, and be willing to challenge yourself to step up, to be a better leader, to leave a legacy that you can be proud of. You do not have to do it all. And remember, when you try to, you start to really shut down the possibilities of the business. We're just about at the end of the show. Next week, we have another show topic. We're going to be talking about business again, because I love my business. So we're going to be talking about how to be present in business and not do it all. So we're actually continuing this topic next week. I would love to have your comments. I would love to have any ideas or stories that you've experienced with these subjects that I'm talking about. Let's talk about them. Let's expand. Let's all grow together. I just love having you here. And I love all of the listeners and the viewers who actually enjoy and contribute at the same time. So remember, my friends, we're in this together, right? We're growing together. Let's grow and have even more fun. Let's create the world that we know is available to us. Let's create the world that we know is possible, and have more fun. Can you imagine having more fun in your life and having more fun in your business, having more fun and prosperous, even more prosperous than you've ever been before when you are working really hard? So my friends, until next week, I want you to remember, you can always make another choice. Take good care of yourself and challenge yourself. Who knows, your business might even grow if you are willing to challenge yourself. Until next week, Take good care.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.